Good evening, class. We are looking at the homepage of Canvas for college algebra. My name is Dr. Araipur, and I have sent you several emails to explore the course. So let's go through that. And when you come to the homepage of Canvas, number one, there is a welcoming message here. I'm very happy to have you here, and I wish everybody best of luck in the course. The next one is a class philosophy. Again, I have put them in numbers so you can look at each and every one. As far as the class philosophy is concerned,
This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The objectives of our college algebra course revolve around offering students a college-level academic experience with emphasis on the use of algebra and functions in problem solving and modeling. This course covers advanced algebra topics, including linear, quadratic, polynomial, exponential and logarithmic functions, graphs of functions, inverse functions, systems of equations and inequalities, the binomial theorem, and conics. Instructor's contact information.
well, the information here is basically my email address, mraipur@lbcc.edu, and I'm going to go back to the homepage of the Canvas. Number three, there are announcements here. I'm going to put this in student view or student mode, and here's the announcements. By the way, uh, more announcements are coming your way, and uh, they become available to you. I sent them in the form of an email/announcements. I hope you've had a chance to explore the course by looking at all these announcements. Needless to say, you're already here, so all is fine. Recorded orientation, welcome and orientation, welcome to a virtual course. There were quite a few here. And when we go back to the home page, the next thing that I want you to see before I go to number 4 and the rest of them, right here, the Tech Connect Zoom, it says to attend all class meetings online via Zoom. Just click on Tech Connect Zoom and join. Okay, Tech Connect Zoom right here and join. Now, move this. Under number 4, you find the syllabus modules, which contains the practice test, PowerPoint, solution to practice test, homework. The solution again is mentioned here. And then we have the discussion forum and so forth. At the end, what you see here is the Zoom link to the student office hours, which takes place right before this class, Monday, Wednesday from 4 to 6:30. Okay. So let's explore the syllabus. You can click on it right here or on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. It contains the syllabus and the Excel file. The Excel file basically tells you the section that are being covered, the exam dates and so forth. And the first exam is going to take place in a few weeks. The very first assignment, introduction to My Open Math, which I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on. It's due in a couple of days. And a couple of days later, we have the algebra review, the information you should have so you can move on with the course. The first one is the actual syllabus, and because it's way too long, I have put them in the format of topics. If you want to go back to this, you can look at a specific topic that you're interested in. But I'm going to take a couple of minutes to go over the whole thing. First, of course, the name of the course and the section number is here. Course catalog description, student learning outcome, objectives. And the text is absolutely free. It's by OpenStax. I'll show you when we go to my OpenMath, you can access from here or there. And the homework is a digital homework provided by my OpenMath. It's absolutely free. So basically, you don't have to pay for anything. Class calendar, okay, I have it here. Of course, this is how you join it. Join the class, you already know how to join it from Canvas. And here's the exam schedule, which is basically set up such that all the exams can be taken on Saturdays. I have set up every exam to be taken on Saturday. So although we meet on Monday, Wednesday, so this way you will be relaxed and it makes it easier to take the exam and do well. Also, there will be no proctorio. I believe everybody's here to learn, which means when you take the exam, of course, it's timed from the moment that you receive the email, which is about a week in advance, up to the time that you take the exam. You have a whole week, but whenever you start, you have only a couple of hours, okay? And for the sake of argument, on the day that is due, if you take it at 11 p.m., you have only 59 minutes, so it's not a good idea. You want to take it well in advance. And of course, you cannot use any notes, any formulas, any PowerPoints, and so on. So again, you have to pledge to do that when you take the exam. As far as the meetings, of course, we are here from 6:30 to 8:35. Calculators, you can use a graphing calculator, but as far as the exams are concerned, most of the exams you may not be able to use a graphing calculator on the exams or some of the exams. We have the tech support for the publisher, for Canvas, for campus, for distance learning office, in case you need help. Math Success Center, where we get our tutoring if need be. The information is here and the website, and there are other helpful websites. This is probably the most important thing for students, and that is grading policy. So, online homework 200 points. Participation discussion board 100 points. 4 exams, 100 points each. The final, comprehensive, 300 points. Although comprehensive, it depends mostly on previous exams. And then it's 20-30% from the new module. As far as the homework, most everybody does a good job on that, because when you start the homework, there is no time limit how long it takes you to do it and how many times you do it. As long as it's done before the due date, you get full credit. Discussion forum should be easy to get points. Those are 5 times 20, 100 points. This is a point system, a total of 1,000 points. A is 90%, that means 900 points or more. B is 80%, 800 or more, and 70% or above, that's a C, 700 points or more. There's no makeup policy unless there's a specific situation and you have a proper documentation, and the reason is very simple. You have a whole week. 1 week in advance, you receive an email. Information about the exam as well as the password is in that email. Also, you can find in the announcement. And so you can take it whenever you're comfortable, of course, before the due date. Now, your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score. If the final score is good, that means B, 80% or higher. Homework and discussion board are excellent, 95% or higher. And this action will result in a higher letter grade. If I make that change and it doesn't change your exam, overall course grade makes no difference. And if you miss any exam, it's 0 point. The course late work basically is a 10% deduction for some of the assignments that you may use a late pass. I don't recommend that. You get behind. Exception to that, of course, is the first couple of assignments, including the mandatory assignment to introduction to open math, discussion forums, and exams. And then there are more informations here. How much time do I need to succeed? I highly recommend you look at the CSULB study 36, which basically says you need for a 16-week course, for a 16-week semester, for a semester-long, courses, 3 times the number of units. This is 3 times 4, 12 hours per week in order to do well in this course outside the class. As far as the drop-in policy, basically, if you miss the orientation or the start, you don't start with the publisher within 24 hours, you miss the first assignment, you miss the first or second exam, you will be dropped. Then we have more information about the SPS, financial office, and so on. The office hours are here, of course, posted on the homepage of Canvas as well. Okay, so we have that information. Then there are more websites, helpful websites, such as Basic Needs, Just Scholars Program, and so forth. I want to discuss the netiquette with you, and in short, just like any other class, we should follow that. Number one, we should be professional and courteous and be willing to help one another. Use correct spelling and grammar when you write emails. It's a college course, and you have to follow that. And by the way, in the subject of your email, you should always put Math 45 and the section number that you're in, okay? If you're using the inbox from Canvas, it puts it itself. You don't have to worry about that. And in short, we really want to use a positive note as far as the course is concerned. Please take a look at the whole thing. Make sure you follow that. So this is the syllabus, everybody. And if I go back to the home page of Canvas, the next things are modules and the discussion forum. So I want to go over the discussion forum, and then under the modules, I cover the whole thing together. So you can click on the discussion forum right here, or on the left navigation bar where it says discussions. It makes no difference. So what do we find there? Number one, student bios. I put mine as a sample. So if you like to put your bio, and so everybody gets to know you, that'd be wonderful. Also, if you want to answer, if you find somebody's bio interesting and you want to answer anything, please let's use encouraging words and sentences and be courteous. That's all. What else do we find? The next one is called FAQ, frequently asked question. That's a discussion for. In the past, students had some questions. I've answered them here. So before you email me question, perhaps your question is answered here. For example, how do I use a math editor? Do I need a course ID? The answer is no, and so on and so forth. As you go down, how do I access my expired homework? How to check your grades? And one of the last ones is that where to find the exam passport. And as far as the exam passport is concerned, again, it will be emailed to you. So on Monday of the week of exam, for any reason you miss that, if you go to the announcements, and right now under student view, you can't see it, but I have access to all of them. And so when the time comes, you see exam one, and this has all the information for the exam one, including the passport. So if I go back to the discussion forum, what comes after these two? Now you have module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. There are 5 discussion forums. Each one is worth 20 points. So
you are required to post, at least, one question and its solution either from practice test number 1 posted under the modules, or any source of your choice, per grading policy in the syllabus. You must read all the posts and make sure not to duplicate any questions. Similar questions are acceptable. Read all the posts, questions and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points for the post. 10 points. Write the question number and copy down the question. Show all steps using the math equation editor or embed an image solution as explained below. Find a similar problem online, or on YouTube, or Khan Academy and post the link. 5 points. Comment on, explain, at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice but is not a comment. To receive credit for this part, write the name of your classmate. 5 points. Example of a student post, made up example.
So in short, when you want to do that, make sure you read this so you know the instruction. As an example, I wrote one for you. I'm solving it using the math editor step by step. When I finish the job, that's the first part giving me 10 points. The second part, I find a YouTube example similar to this. That's another 5 points, giving me 15 points. And the last 5 points, comment on somebody's work, either their work or their YouTube post, something that when students read, have an idea of what that post is all about and what I learned from that post. Not just a comment that says, thank you so much. That's not good enough. I also have a short video explaining how to embed an image into Canvas. And if you want to use a math editor, simply reply, insert, and click on the symbol with the square root of x. Going back to the discussion forum, when you're done with the first discussion forum, the rest of them follow in the same manner. When you do that, then you know exactly what to do with the rest of them as long as they're done before the due date. And please don't wait until the last moment. And it's very important to read everybody's post. It is truly helpful. So I want to go back to the home page of Canvas. And what I want to do, I want to go to the module. So let me put this in student mode again, student view. And under the modules, right here where it says, okay, so the first one is my open math. The second one is recorded practice lectures. These are my previously recorded practice tests that you can find it on my YouTube channel. I'll show you. Then exam 1 module, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4 module, and module 5 is part of the final. They are very similar, and I'm going to cover one of them. And at the end, I have some information about a graphing calculator for you. So going back to the top, if you click on this one, and it says load this, then you either have an account with mom, my open math, so you put your username and password, or you make one up, you create an account, and then you can start with my open math. I will go over my open math later on, but for now I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back to the home page, and I want to leave the student mode. coming back to the modules again. So this one will take you to my open math. You register. This one, I have the recorded lectures and practice tests. For example, if you click on that, this is basically all you need. If you watch these recordings, those are the synopsis of the chapters and sections that you need to do well with the exam. We will have more recordings coming your way. But I will add here at top of this, I'm going to add this semester's lectures as well. So if you go down, you see more of those, okay, some previously recorded stuff. Instruction on taking exams in my open math. At the moment, you don't have to worry about it. As we get closer and closer to that, I will explain that to you, and you really want to watch that. And we have some older ones here, okay. And basically, all the recordings are available to you, whatever you need as far as this course is concerned. And you can watch all the previous recordings and move on with the course. Now, let me go back to the modules. What do you see under exam one module? And for now, we just want to be concerned with the first one. First, I have the practice test. And you might ask yourself, why the practice test? Because I want you to see what the first exam will cover. And I want you to take about maybe 5 minutes to read this. This is what's coming our way. And if you either download this or print it and on a daily basis, do 1 or 2 questions. That's all you have to do, 1 or 2 questions. By the time we get to the week of exam, you're done with everything. And the week of exam, you concentrate on the practice test and the exam, and you do excellent. Going back to the modules. What comes after that? We have the PowerPoints per section, which we will go over later on. And if you put those PowerPoints, if you download them and you put them in slide mode, instead of seeing the whole thing, you see either line by line, paragraph by paragraph, and so forth. And more importantly, when you get to the examples, you don't see the whole example. You see the question, and then you start. If you click the down arrow, you start seeing the solution again, step by step. If you go back, you can go to the next section and the next section and the next section. All of them are here, okay? And going back to the modules, everybody. The last one on the same module, it has the key and in some instances, detailed solution of the practice test. So this, let me take it to top. This was the practice test. And this is the key to practice test. And this one is the PowerPoints. So going back to the modules, the first one would be the practice test. The next one would be the PowerPoint lectures. And the last one is the key to that practice test. And under the recorded practice test, as you remember, we had it here, over here or here. This is the latest one. We have the solution to those practice tests recorded in the form of a PowerPoint step by step. I highly recommend you watch those, okay? The solution to those step by step. So again, this is the home page. Let's go back to the modules, and I want to go to the last part, which is the calculator. So this is the information about TI calculator and some of the commands you need, and any other command that I come up with, I put it here for you, but basically it covers most everything you need, okay? What I want to add in the very beginning, I put some information as to how to probably get a TI emulator. If it works, and it doesn't work all the time, then you will be able to get this on your computer if this thing works. And again, that's not mine. I don't promise that it works, but give it a shot. Although there are other online calculators, right? We have it here, online calculators and resources. They're all for free. So there are many resources that are available to you, and I highly recommend you explore all of them and find out the best one that works for you. All right, so let me close this. And so under the modules, you have my open math, practice test, exam one module for now. That's all that matters to us. That's the last one, is the some resource for us. So now you have registered with my open math. What do? You go to my open math. And at the very top, you see the first assignment, which is due in a couple of days, known as Introduction to my open math. The next one is Algebra Review. Then the next one is exams. I'm going to, it's expanded. I'm going to close that. You don't have to worry about the exams yet, but you know where to find them. Then we have the course description. Okay. And this part is important to see. So let me just...
All content is in the course modules folders, which includes textbook sections, videos, and sets of homework exercises. For most sections of the text, you will find 2 assessments. Video assignments. These assessments contain video lessons. After each video there is 1 or 2 questions that correspond with the examples in the video. Practice/HW assignments. These assessments contain additional problems beyond the types covered in the video lessons. These assessments are intended to serve the role of homework.
So that's the synopsis of what's coming your way. As you scroll down, you see the calendar, and you can change the number of weeks. Here's the first assignment due in a couple of days. Here's the next one. What I want you to pay attention is that you see a bunch of assignments right here before exam one. These are all the assignments that are due. But if you wait until that day, you will not be able to catch up. So what do? As I mentioned, do 1 section a day, or maybe 3-4 sections per week. So the week of exam, pretty much you're done, so you can concentrate on the exam, okay? Now, the next one is module 0. Let me just do this first. So I want to show you. Just like what we had in Canvas, we have modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just as in Canvas. So what is module 0? As the name indicates, it's a bunch of resources. What resource? Well, here's the text. Here's the text, and it's based on this text. This one, it's a lot easier to navigate than this one, okay? So this one is based on this, and either one is the same thing. The difference is this one It's not an online one that you can easily navigate, but it's the same course, same text. And it's really more of a reference text, everybody. It's more of a reference text, meaning if you follow my recordings, you may not need to worry about this. And then I have a graphing calculator by Desmos, online graphing calculator. And I have a scientific calculator here for you. A lot of resources. The next one, how do we use a late pass, calendar, grade book? It is explained here. The next one, free online calculators, although we had it here. Again, I'm gonna write it because I believe students shouldn't pay for anything. If you have a calculator, more power to you. If you don't, you can explore these and see which one works the best for you. And here's some video explaining as far as the instruction is concerned regarding the calculators that are mentioned. As you go down, you see the end of module 0. So I'm going to close it up, and basically what is module 0? A lot of resources. If you don't need it, you're done with that. Just ignore it. Module 1, we see chapter 2. We start with chapter 2. Expand it, and these are the sections that we are covering. So the very first section, 2.1, if you click on it, first it explains the learning objective. Then it tells you if you want to read the book that I mentioned, if you click on this, will take you to that book. Then these are the video lessons. Most of them are extremely short. I highly recommend you watch it. There are some students who just come here and watch these videos. They go to the first assignment. Most of the assignments class starts with some sort of a video assignment and then some questions. Most of them. After you do the video assignment, then there's an assignment called the practice assignment. And of course, plot the points. Those are easy. You can do that. And not only that, even here, some of the questions have a video next to them. See, this one has a video. This one does. This one does. And some of them may not. But many of these questions also have a video in case. Those are sort of the same type of videos that were available before in this section. And it really is wonderful that you have all these resources. So when you go to module 1 and chapter 2, just concentrate on 2.1. You have a bunch of videos. I would start with those videos, then video assignment. Even if I don't start with that, start with the video assignment and then go to practice assignment. I promise you, you have an easy time. Okay. What I want to show you now, of course, I'm going to close it up, and 2.2 is the same thing. You have the objectives where I can find the text to read, some videos, then video assignment and practice assignment. So that's the way it's been set up. What I want to show you is what happens when you start a set up homework. For example, let me say I'm going to start this one. And it's asking me to input some numbers. For the first one, it says put this number in. And if I want to put this number in, if I click on this box, it gives me a math editor in case I need a special character in math. So I'm going to put 68.7278. The next one says rounded to the nearest hundreds. The 100 is 2. The 100, figure digit, and next to it is 7, so it's going to go up. So 68.7, the 2, because next to it is 7, goes up to 3. Then they want us to divide by 0. As you know, we can't. It's undefined. Since doesn't say undefined, I'm going to go with DNE, does not exist. Now what happens? If I submit the question, it shows, okay, I haven't made a mistake, check marks, and it registers my grade so far for this assignment. I go to the second question, and let me answer it wrong by purpose, on purpose. 1/3 is 0.3 bar. Let's answer 0.5. And I'm going to submit the question, and it says it's wrong. Now, if I move on, I've lost that point. But I'm not going to move on. Instead, I'm going to get a similar question. It happened to give me the same question. And I know it's 0.3 bar, and it says, I read, it says enter 4 or more decimal places. So 0.3, and I put a lot of them, okay? And now I submit the question. Notice what happened. I got it right, and now this is my grade, okay? Not the one that I lost. So when you get a similar question, it updates that. Something comes up, I can't continue. If I click on done, it registers my points, which is a 15.4% of those points. And it shows the rest of them are unattempted. So sometime later, I'll come back, I can resume, and I can continue getting more points. For now, I'm going to exit. So what I want to do, I want to quickly recap what we did. So let me go back to the home page of Canvas. First, there's a welcoming message. Then it's the class philosophy. Then it's the announcements. Right underneath, if you want to attend the class, Tech Connect Zoom is right here. Click on it and then join, and make sure you put your full name. Then number 4 tells us about syllabus. We discovered that, we explored that. I highly recommend you look at it again if you have a question. Then under the modules, we can find a lot of stuff, and we have the discussion forum. And at the end is the office hours posted here, as well as the syllabus. So what I'm going to do on the left side, first I'm going to look at the discussion. It has the student bios, frequently asked questions, and then from module 1 to module 5, there are 5 of them. Each one is graded, and it is worth 20 points. 5 times 20 give us 100 points. Then I'm going to look at the modules. The first one, I can register with Mom or my Open Math. The second one, all the recordings I need, I can find them here. And the third one, exam 1 module, starts with practice test. Then it gives me the PowerPoints section by section. And then it gives me the key to the practice test. What happens to exam 2 module? It basically repeats the same as exam 1 module, but whatever is covered in exam 2 module. All the way to the end, exam 3, exam 4, and module 5 is part of the final. And this is the information about the graphing calculator TI. When I go to my Open Math to do my homework, the very first thing I need to do, which is due almost immediately, is introduction to my Open Math. The next one is algebra review. For now, I don't worry about the exams, but when the time comes, I'm going to expand it and take the first exam, which is timed 1 attempt only as a passport. As I go down, it explains right here that we basically have a video assignment and then practice homework. The calendar shows all the homework are put together as a group right before exam one, but I have to do it on a daily basis to be successful. Module 0 has all the resources, the text, various calculators and information that I need. We start with Module 1, expanded, Chapter 2, expanded, Section 2.1, expanded, gives me the learning objective where I can find the text, okay, some videos. Then I start with video assignment. This is being created. And then the practice assignment, many of the questions in there do have videos as well. And I can move on to the next one. So getting 200 points of the homework should be extremely easy, class. Okay? Well, I wish everybody best of luck and happy studying. I think I gotta go back to here and